the morning comes. You don't need to be so honest. I laughed so hard I fell down. 'Cause these lanes I walked on.
Hi, my name is Ryan Judkins. I'm a student here at UCSC. I am the student manager down at the farm, which is one of the facilities that comprises CASFS, the Center for Agroecology and Sustainable Food Systems.
Hey, my name is David. I'm a fourth-year undergraduate here at UC Santa Cruz. I started working here at CASFS when I was a freshman.
UC Santa Cruz's Zero Waste Initiative, it's a modest approach where it's like, okay, we're going to do our best to try and to minimize or eliminate the waste that we're outputting, which has an impact on the globe.
When I started working here on the farm, I realized that in terms of being environmentally conscious and in terms of advocating for sustainability, agriculture is a really opportune moment to really get some hands-on experience and see some tangible forms of sustainability.
The way that CASFS is participating in it right now has been happening since the start of the Chadwick Garden here in the 60s, which is basically practicing these ecologically sustainable and socially just methods of food production, not as a way to say that what we're doing here is solving all the issues of waste and climate change and food insecurity, but it definitely is having an impact on that here on the micro level. It's making these sites themselves more ecologically sustainable and resilient, educating the local community about food system issues here around town and around the globe.
Santa Cruz has been a huge advocate for organic farming from its beginning, and not just for California, but for the whole world. And the UC system has been really key in making instrumental changes in agricultural system, and we've kind of set the model for agricultural systems all over the world. So when California certified organic farmers began in 1973, they began here in Santa Cruz. The school works through the ENVS department to recruit interns, and there's just so many experiential learning opportunities. I started out managing invasive pests and, basically pulling weeds, digging ditches, that kind of thing. Just over the course of my experience, they gave me more responsibility. So now I'm helping teach the interns, I'm guiding interns and kind of stimulating student engagement and getting other students to find themselves here at the farm like I did. One thing we could definitely use more of is engagement from the student community. We really want to increase the amount of students that know the scope of the activities that take place here and really understand the sense of community that we try to build here on the farm.
This time of the year, late winter, heading into spring, one of the big tasks we have to do here at the Chadwick Garden is orchard floor management. The ENVS 133 class came in and basically was working underneath a stand of apple trees. What we just basically did, this was all covered in the calla lilies and different types of volunteer plants that some people might call weeds. And we took them off. We're using those to make compost piles right now. And then as a supplemental nutrient source for accounting for the fact that we just took out these plants which took nutrients from the soil, we're putting on compost from piles that were made in the past that are now finished. Composting programs at the Chadwick Garden definitely act as a model for students in the Santa Cruz community to be able to see what waste or food scrap regeneration looks like successfully in an on-site scale, different than like a city composting program where you just put your stuff in a bin, it goes away, and you never see it again.
Well, we have a huge diversity of programs here at CASFS. We have a lot of community engagement, a lot of research, a lot of public outreach, and just a lot of farmer training as well.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Villies, and I work as a co-chair for the Food Systems Working Group, which is a student group that works with CASFS and hosts a once-a-week market in the Quarry Plaza. It was just an awesome opportunity to be able to bring the food that students grow on campus to students' hands. It's pretty empowering to think the students around you are the ones growing the food. The marketing portion is one part, but then we think about production and the people who are actually going out and picking the food. We have an internship, students go out and they learn how to farm. And all that food that they're picking on Tuesdays or Wednesdays is going into the hands of students on Thursdays. We're really trying to cater to all parts of understanding the food system, sustainability, food access, food security, and safety, and also understanding the labor of those who pick the food on the production side. And having our consumers actually know that and understand that is a huge part of why we run the market, is to bring that awareness.
It looks really packed, actually. I would get that one. Okay, or that one.
Students walking on campus or staff walking on campus, faculty, community member that came up to use the library or take a bike ride or go mountain biking, sees this farmer's market cart there, can buy produce, buy some fruit, vegetables, something that's in season at that moment that was grown hundreds of feet up or down the hill.
Just throw them down to the side. Yeah, so.
Another way that CASFS is getting food from the farm into the hands of the UCSC community is through the Farm and Garden to Dining Hall program, which gets produce from the farms and the gardens and delivers it to the various dining halls on campus. It's a long-term goal to be able to supply a majority of the food, but at this point it's not necessarily about providing every single pound of food that the dining hall makes. It's about beginning to spark the idea that that is a possibility. It's kind of a model for what could be. It's a supplement for what is already happening to try and localize and minimize and make obsolete of waste that we have here on campus and trying to get more towards that closed loop zero system. Yeah.
It's a wonderful place. People are always here to support the garden and work at it, and that is what is most special, is like the sharing of knowledge. The Kresge garden is like a community space where everyone and anyone is welcome to come in and share in this experience of flowers and so many beautiful things and like just be in nature. But the co-op is actually a group of students, and it's student run, who come maintain the space on a regular basis. We as the Kresge Garden Co-op are here to grow food and also to grow many other things, but something that's really awesome is that like we start the food and then we get to share it, and if you are here working, you get part of that and you get to eat fresh food. I think it is one of the places on campus that have like the least amount of waste. We put our like compost back into the earth and the soil.
Yeah, so this is our composting system here. This is called a thermophilic composting pile as opposed to a cold compost pile. We add materials together in a way that maximizes biological growth of microorganisms in there that will break all of this organic matter down really fast and turn it back into a really nice soil additive. We're trying to get like the gross looking straw and food scraps and chunks of organic matter and stuff to break down into what they call humus, and it makes for really good soil once you make it correctly. That stuff will be rotted down into our soil along with fresh green matter that we pull from the garden, like weeds or crop residues, like if we harvest all of our tomatoes and we're left with just a bunch of the leaf matter from the plants, we'll take them up here. We ideally would make a pile each week, and then it involves turning it, kind of flipping it using pitchforks from one location to the next each week. Anybody want to join me for bees? Yeah. I got one jacket and one hood. So bees really help with pollination. And in a garden space like this, pollination really helps with crop production. Flowers don't get pollinated, they won't be able to create fruit, or not as much, and bees do it really well. Not to mention they also produce honey, which is a really great byproduct. There's actually a little proto honey right here dripping in the syrup. Also, people use the wax for making salves or sealing things or candles, and just I feel like it's a good addition, increasing productivity and the diversity of products that can come out of the garden. We're building wax. That is so cool. I feel like it's the duty of individual backyard beekeepers to keep small hives that can adapt to each individual location and climate and situation, and provide a network of pollinators for the whole community rather than relying on industrial agriculture and commercial beekeeping for our pollination of our crops. Here at the Kresge Garden and the Kresge Garden Co-op that maintains this space, we really like to present an example of an outdoor educational facility that's also a food forest, as well as a space for just the community to come and hang out. And it's these spaces that really bring us back to our roots and our goals in sustainability of not relying on massive energy and infrastructure use to have an educational space or to be able to produce our foods, but to be able to use what resources we have. I think that we are trying to paradoxically grow bigger as we try and reduce our waste footprint and our energy consumption and our water usage, and we need to individually see where we can cut back and collectively shrink our usage and our growth. We as students and undergraduates here at the university have access to great resources, including just our connections in our community and in our student body. And when we come together to have a place that supports each other in these endeavors, beautiful things happen, and I think this is one of them.
No one does it like you. No one does it like you. I tried so hard, but no one does it like you.